Today we have my Big Ten Top 10 All-Decade Overachieving teams. Thank you for growing my small channel. I'm always posting and open for ideas. I hope you enjoy the video. For overachieving teams, the method is pretty simple for how I came up with this list. Like you're not going to see 2015 Wisconsin on this list. It's about projections. So what were the writers, what were the experts saying prior to this season, and how did they finish at the very end? The other is, what players did they lose? What did they do the previous season in respect to what they did in the season afterwards? At number 10, 2015 Purdue, coached by Matt Painter, projected around number 12 for this year. They were 15-17 the previous season, 5-13 in Big Ten play, but this year they finished 5th in the conference, had a 21-13 record, 12-6 in Big Ten play, a 9 seed losing in the round of 64. They had a recruiting class of Isaac Haas, Vince Edwards, Dakota Mathias, PJ Thompson to fill the gaps, and a returning big man in AJ Hammonds to more than exceed expectations. At number 9, we have 2012 Michigan. Now, they were projected around 4th, but they did struggle the previous year before really turning it on. Then they lost Darius Morris to the NBA. There was a big question to who was going to take over at the point guard position, but they regrouped with experienced guys with freshman Trey Burke. This was the scene William Buford hit the winning shot over Michigan State. For Michigan, this clinched a share of their first Big Ten title since 1986. At number 8, 2020 Wisconsin, coached by Greg Gard, was projected around 8th in the league. Didn't help that their starting shooting guard and second leading scorer at the time, Kobe King, decided to transfer during the season. But Ohio State transfer Micah Potter stepped up as a 6th man. Wisconsin won its final 8 games and clinched a share of the Big Ten title. 21-10, 14-6 Big Ten record, finish out the season ranked number 17 in the country. At number 7, 2018 Ohio State, coached by Chris Holtmann, they were projected 12th this year, and for a couple of reasons. New coach Chris Holtmann left a talented Butler team to take over for Thad Matta, who resigned in June. That's super late. He took over for a team who just finished 10th in the Big Ten and had guys like Mark Loving and Jaquan Lyle to lean on. They were no longer in the program. But this year, Holtmann took that team and finished 3rd in the conference at a 25-9 record, 15-3 in the Big Ten, a number 17 national rank, 5 seed in the NCAA tournament, losing in the round of 32. At number 6, we have 2017 Minnesota, coached by Richard Pitino, projected around number 12 by the experts and writers, and rightfully so. The year prior was a complete disaster, going 8-23 for the year, 2-16 in Big Ten play, had player suspensions. Let's not get it twisted. Pitino is a bottom 3 coach in the conference, and he's not 2 or 3. Still deserves credit when it's due. Finished 4th in the conference this year, 24-10 record, 11-7 in Big Ten play. They were a 5 seed, losing in the round of 64. Getting to number 4 in the league, thanks to returning players maturing and outstanding freshman Amir Coffey, is an accomplishment. At number 5, we have 2019 Michigan State, coached by Tom Izzo. They were projected top 3 in the conference after losing Jaren Jackson Jr. and Miles Bridges early to the draft, but that was all before a season-ending injury to Josh Langford and injuries sustained to Nick Ward throughout the year. They still won the Big Ten. They still won the Big Ten tourney and going to the Final Four, beating the generational talents at Duke en route, with Langford substitute Matt McQuaid and former walk-on Kenny Goins playing big parts in their run to another Final Four. At number 4, we have 2020 Rutgers, coached by Steve Pikiell. They were projected around number 12. And a big reason for that is because they were returning a decent team, and they even scheduled a game in Canada for their all-Big Ten big man, Eugene Omoruyi. But then out of nowhere, he transfers to Oregon. Fought and clawed all year with speed and toughness as a unit, and they finished 8th in the conference, a 2011 record, 11-9 in Big Ten play. COVID canceled the postseason, but they would have made the NCAA tournament for the first time since 1991, almost 30 years. At number 3, we have 2014 Nebraska, coached by Tim Miles. They were projected bottom 2, depending on who you ask. They were either last or second to last on everybody's ballot. They were not good at all the year before, but on the backs of Terran Petaway and Siobhan Fields, they found a way back to the NCAA tournament for the first time since 1998. They finished 4th in the conference, got to be an 11 seed in the NCAA tournament, losing in the round of 64, but they had a 19-13 record, finishing 11-7 in conference. At number 2, we have 2014 Wisconsin, coached by Bo Ryan, projected around 5th. After having a decent year in 2013, Wisconsin lost in the first round to Ole Miss. Then they lost even more to graduation with Ryan Davis, Jared Berggren, and Mike Bruzewicz. But this year, the emergence of Frank Kaminsky from the previous season is what pushed Wisconsin over the hump. They finished 2nd in the conference, 29-9 record, 12-6 in the Big Ten, had a 2 seed in the NCAA tournament, making it all the way to the Final Four, where they lost to Kentucky by only 1 point. This was a no-brainer. Number 1 is 2017 Northwestern, coached by Chris Collins. They were projected 11th for the sole reason of just being Northwestern. They lost 2 guys to graduation, Alex Ola and Trey Demps. They needed guys to step up and step up big, and they did. Derek Pardon, Scotty Lindsey, Vic Law, and Brian McIntosh were huge. One of the biggest moments in Northwestern basketball history was this last-second heave and layup against Michigan at home to send them to their first NCAA tournament ever. That game locked them in. And first winning conference record since 1968. That's almost 50 years. They finished this year 6th in the conference, 24-12 record, 10-8 record in the Big Ten, and an 8 seed in the NCAA tournament, winning the first game and then losing to number 1 Gonzaga in the round of 32. Dan Dockage can't guard me.